Hi, everybody. Welcome to Talks Tamiya. I'm Craig. Thank you very much for joining us on the first podcast of 2026. Now, This is going to be a Talks Tamiya special edition because we're not going to talk about RC per se today. We're going to talk about being RC YouTubers. And with me today, as always, is Phil from Poor Boys RC. Phil, how you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Phil from Poor Boys RC. I'm doing great.
And Mark from Mark Bryan RC. Mark, how you doing?
Oh, hello. I thought you could say Mark from Birmingham. Yeah. Hello.
Well, you can be from Birmingham if you want, Mark.
Doing right. Well, I'm close to Birmingham because if you say you're from Albury, people go, "Where's that?" Then I don't know where that is. So yeah, near Birmingham, in the middle of the UK.
There you go. There you go. And we decided, well, by popular request, I think it was, Mark mentioned it in our final podcast of 25 and said, how about we do a day in the life of an RC YouTuber? And the community voted and said they would like to hear us talking about being YouTubers. Now, I don't really class myself as being a YouTuber because I just do a little bit. You guys are YouTubers. I grew up in my more recent RC history watching you guys being YouTubers. So I thought we'd start off with a bit of an icebreaker. And perhaps you guys can tell me what got you into RC YouTubing. Mark, why don't you go first?
Okay. Well, it's a very long story, so I'll try and cut it short because we've only got
an hour, Mark.
I know that, like you said, there's so many people were interested to hear. I was really impressed at how many people were interested to hear what it's like being a YouTuber. But anyway, so it started off with me and my best friend Rob. We got back into the hobby in, 2010, something like that. And I just got my son, he was coming up to 12, 13, and I got him into the hobby. And we all got a few cars together. We used to go up the park every night virtually. And we'd have these little races around the trees. And you've probably seen some of my early videos of us racing around that little track at the park. And Rob's always been a bit of a cameraman. So he got one of the early kind of cheap action cams, I think it was. And he'd set it up and we'd have a race. And he said, I'll put it on YouTube and then you can share it with Alf and show your mates and da-da-da. And then I got a camera. So we got two cameras. And that's how it started. It was just sharing, us having fun racing around the park. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's how I got into it. Yeah.
And Mark, are those videos still on your channel today? If I go oldest video, do they come up at the top?
Yeah, if you go back, you'll see the ones of the racing around the park. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened to Rob. Rob had a bit of a funny turn recently. I think he deleted a lot of his earlier videos. I really don't know why. Yeah, but there were tons that he put up originally.
Yours is on there. We can see you with your long flowing locks, can we? Yeah.
I don't know about that, mate. I used to have long flowing locks, but that was a long time ago.
And Phil, go on. Same question to you then. What got you into RC YouTubing?
I started watching Mateo's RC movies.
Didn't we all?
And and he got me into it. Honestly, that one human being, I watched his running videos in particular. And of course, he focused primarily on Tamiya at that time. He kind of got into crawlers at the sort of the tail end of his YouTube career. But before the crawlers, it was all Tamiyas. And to this day, his running videos are still the best. And they're still the inspiration that's still the inspiration I bring when I go to do a running video. I'll watch some Mateo's just to kind of get myself hyped up. But yeah, I would watch his videos. And so my wife and I would call it, because he'd often upload Saturday mornings, which is what I do as a bit of an homage to Mateo as well. And it was Saturday mornings with Mateo. And we would have our coffee and we would sit there and watch a really cool running video. And I'm like, I bet you I could do that. It can't be that hard. And then I did it and it sucked. And it's really hard. I mean, my early running video, all my early videos, man, they're so terrible. They're unwatchable garbage. But like, that's where you start, and I thought, well, this guy, he's got some skills. He's really good. But yeah, no, that's it, man. Mateo got me doing it. Honestly, he was just so good. And those videos are so captivating, and seeing the Aggress and the Avante jumping through that little sand pit that he ran in, he made every car look amazing. So yeah. Mateo, he's my man.
Yeah.
Awesome. And in your early videos, Phil, go on, Mark.
I was just going to say I'm with him on that, because once we started doing our videos, obviously you get the recommendations popping up, and that's when I saw Mateo stuff, and I get it completely. That was then like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. You know, go look that professional with an RC car, and it was like proper cinema quality, wasn't it? It's like totally.
He was the best.
So
storytelling, and he had nice cameras too. It wasn't just all GoPro or anything. Like, he had like some really high quality cameras.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
he would use,
yeah. So I'm with you on that one, Phil.
And Phil, are your early videos still on your YouTube channel? Can we go back and sort by oldest and find those?
Yeah, I've watched them.
Oh yeah, they're there. Yeah, I mean, I've contemplated removing them. Oh, dude, so bad. Like,
no, they're not.
The first one I ever did was I did a review for a Hobby Wing 1080, and at this point I didn't even know what a review video was. I didn't know what an unboxing was. I didn't know what editing was. I'm like, it comes in a box. The box has square corners. There are several of them. Like, it's like the most unwatchable nonsense you've ever seen. But like, I keep it there because like it's hilarious when I've got friends here that are like, even now, like, your early stuff, man. No. Pretty bad. So, it's kind of cool to see the evolution of a channel, right? To see where, because we all start somewhere, and no one's Wayne Gretzky on day one. So, it's cool to see the evolution, and it's a constant evolution. Even to this day, all of our channels are still evolving and becoming something different, right?
I hope so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's interesting you two guys talking about Matteo. Yeah, so I started my journey watching you guys. And that's the cool thing about this whole hobby. Hopefully one day there'll be someone who starts watching me. I doubt it. But so I was getting back into the hobby during the lockdown of 2021. It was that second batch of lockdowns that we all had. And I had a Kyosho Raider that was mine from the 90s, and I wanted to repair it. I didn't even know where to start. So I just started watching videos, and I stumbled across Mark's videos of the DTO2 and the DTO3, and then I stumbled across your channel on a Saturday morning, having a coffee, sat down with my daughter, and we would watch your Saturday morning videos, Phil. That's what we did to start with, so it's interesting. And that's how I started getting into it, is going, well, I want to build these cars. And then I thought, well, I might as well run them in the garden. I'll just film them, running them in the garden. So that's where I did. I have a grasshopper. My first video was a grasshopper going around like 1.0 of the Orchard Raceway and just bouncing about, and it's literally 30 seconds long of the car driving a few laps, and that's it. And then from there, it's just I started trying to build. I did a rebuild of the Raider. I didn't want to do the voiceover, so I did it with text, like a complete faceless channel. And then it's amazing how it just starts to grow from there. You go, well, actually, I'll do a bit more, and then I'll do a bit more, and before I know it, I'm loading a video every day, every week, and I love it. So it's interesting how it evolves and it grows.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your goals at the start for your channel, where you started, are different to where they are today, and how did they change during that period of time? Can one of you share that?
Big time.
Go for it, Phil.
Phil. I mean, when I started my channel, it was just kind of a side project for fun. And part of Poor Boys RC, I mean, it was part of the idea that I had for it. I had no inclination of becoming a full-time YouTuber at that time, that's for sure. And Poor Boys was an homage to the old days when I was a very poor boy. I grew up in a very humble beginnings, you could say. And I thought it would be kind of neat to use, like, maybe not the best gear. Part of my shtick was using a crappy action camera that I picked up for like $50 on AliExpress, that they say it's 720p, and it's really like, I don't know, 120A. I don't even know, some frame rate that doesn't exist, and some, quality that's just so poor. But and YouTube was a different beast back then too. Like, it wasn't as refined as it is today. And there weren't nearly as many people doing it. So I started like 7 or 8 years ago. So I mean, I had no intention of it being a full-time job. It was just a fun side project that, after using that lousy action cam, I'm like, I'm not proud of this product. I need to do something better than this. And it was just a slow evolution of improving cameras and editing skills and filming skills and better mics for better audio and better lighting. And it all just kind of snowballed. And then after my back injury happened in 2023, I came to a crossroads where I couldn't do my my full-time big boy job anymore. And I thought, what about this YouTube thing? You know, at that point, I think I had like 17,000 subs or something, and I had some traction. And my wife, who's like my biggest cheerleader in life, is like, dude, this is it. This is your job. You got to do this. Do this YouTube thing. You're good at it. People love you, and you're helping people. And okay, so I dove into it, and here we are.
And was that your turning point, Phil? That was the point where you went, I can do something with this. I can really grow it, and it becomes what I do. Yeah.
It gave me purpose, right? Because there was a time when, I mean, I couldn't walk, you know, for almost a month. I couldn't walk. So, when you go from being a very productive human being that works 12, 14 hours a day, every day, including weekends, to someone that can't walk, like, and you can't be productive, and standing hurts and thinking hurts. You know what I mean? Like you kind of start to see life through a different lens. And I was 45 when that happened, 44, 45 when that happened. So it's kind of like that midlife point as well. You know, a few things kind of came together. I'm like, what's important in life? Because I've worked the long hours. I had a really good paying job in my past, and it came time to start to focus on a better quality of life, less stress. And I really just, I want to do something that I love. And I didn't know what that thing was. And then, you know, it's been sitting there the whole time, kind of dormant, this YouTube channel. Yeah. And it's like, I love this. I love the community. I love the people. I love, you know, I have no problem with you know, speaking on camera, or I did back in the day. It was weird. But like when I was young, I was like class valedictorian and stuff. You know what I mean? I had no problem public speaking and doing presentations and stuff when I worked in marketing out of college. Like, so, you know, a bunch of like skills that I had earned or attained over the years in business really lended themselves well to being a YouTuber. There's like an overlay that you can just kind of, okay, run your channel this way. A business is a business is a business in a lot of ways. And if you can just kind of guide it and keep it between the rails, you should, in theory, be successful.
Yep.
And here we are.
Awesome.
Talking to you guys.
Here we are.
Success. I made it. I made it. I'm on Craig's podcast. I made it.
Yeah, there we go. Mark, what about you? Go on, Mark.
Yeah,
how did your journey change from when you started and what your goals were at the start to where you've got to now?
I think it was kind of similar, although I'm nowhere near the kind of level that Phil's got to yet, and I don't think I ever will do, to be honest with you, with the way I'm going at the moment. But yeah, I think the thing that got me really was after putting a few videos out, I was just amazed that people wanted to watch what I was putting out. Surprised and obviously delighted that people were enjoying it, and as you probably we all feel the same about the comments we get. Most of them are fantastically supportive, and that really gives you a boost, doesn't it? You know, I don't think people realise sometimes that just a nice little comment that they drop down, some, you know, positive support, means a lot to somebody that's, you know, putting the heart and soul into bearing your soul and put yourself on camera and doing a video. So yeah, I think that was it. As Phil said, watching Mateo, watched a lot of other people. One of them, I've got to say a big shout out to my good friend now, Pete Wiley, because he's also one of the guys that back in the day, he was putting out running videos that nobody else was. I think he was really early into the GoPros, and he was doing these super slow-mos in the water, and you could see the water droplets flying off the tires. And you know, he really inspired me. He wound me up
all
a
the
lot
grass,
in the beginning.
all the grass and the sand on the golf course being torn up. Yeah,
super. I mean, he was one of the first guys that I saw doing that, apart from Mateo. But like you said, Phil, Mateo had got, like, you know, top quality cinematic cameras and stuff, hadn't he? He'd got, and you could tell when somebody's got the right gear and knows how to use it. But Pete's up there for me. So there you go. Hiya, Pete, if you're watching, I hope you are. Yeah, he really inspired me as well.
That's cool.
But yeah, as it went on, I think I made a lot of, because I've got an engineering background, so I'm pretty good with my hands. I'm good at working stuff out generally, you know, mechanically. I used to build motorbikes from the ground up and all that kind of thing. So I did a lot of build videos, as you know. explained a lot of stuff that I'd learnt and how to adapt and change things that I thought you could make things a little bit better, especially with Tamiyas. And that really took off. I think that's why my base followers are from those build things and how-tos and stuff. And yet that, like I say, the comments of that just inspired me just to try and just get, refine that kind of process of making those videos.
We all love a good Mark Bryan build video, don't we? Step by step with all the little intricate details. And all the names of all the funny screws and all the little techniques, and it's
Thanks,
it's
mate.
good.
Yeah, but that's my engineering background coming out. That's like
but it shows a passion, and that's what keeps people coming back, is when you're passionate about it, people can see you love it and you're enthusiastic about it. It really helps.
I'm glad you said that. I forgot you said that. I think that's something that we all put into it, and that anyone that's running a channel needs, is you've got to be passionate about what you're doing, because people can see if you're just doing it for the numbers, people see through it, don't they? And I think people will watch what we do, know that we genuinely bloody love it.
And we've all got skills, right? We've all got strengths and weaknesses as human beings. My wife and I call Mark's channel, like when Mark's doing one of his builds,
I don't want to know.
I refer to him as the David Attenborough of RC so many times, because it's like watching a Planet Earth episode. The way he talks, like, David Attenborough's like, "Oh, here's a blue-nosed dolphin. We haven't seen one of these in over a moon's age," whatever weird terminology you guys use in the UK. And there's Mark building, trucks doing the same thing, and like, there's something really satisfying about that overhead view, and his hands come in, and then the dissolve or the fade transition into the manual.
That's my trademark.
It's satisfying to watch, man. Like you got a thing going on there, dude.
So it's not just because I'm old, then. David Attenborough's about 100 years old now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He looks like the guy looks like he's 40 still. He's in great shape.
What a guy! What a guy!
Absolutely.
I'm blown away by that. Thanks, mate.
I think your channel needs to now say Mark Bryan's RC, aka the David Attenborough of RC. We should get him a...
be so rude.
So I'm going off piece now, right? So I gave the guys some questions I was going to refer back to, right? And I'm going off piece now. So this is my question to you guys, right? And it's about how much time goes into producing the videos, yeah? And what does a typical day, when you guys go, I'm going to make a video today, what does that look like for you, and how does it play out? And I'll go first this time, right? Because for me, I have a full-time job. So my hobby is all around whatever 5 or 10 or 15, 20 minutes I get to do this. And sometimes it's really hard because I'll have half an hour. I'll have a half an hour gap where all the domestics are done and work's done, and I go, I'm going to take myself off and do half an hour. And if I mess it up in that half an hour, it's toast. I got nothing for the time. So I have to do something productive in half an hour that I can record and edit and then put out on the channel. And it's hard because sometimes I don't get to do it, or it goes wrong, or I get it into the edit and it's just an absolute crock, and you go, I can't do anything with this. It's just rubbish. And then it ends up on the cutting room floor and you have to start all over again. Or I get to the summer and I can get outside on the track and I can do a whole like Orchard Raceway, run the cars on the track and different camera angles. And if I do one of those, that's a whole weekend's worth of work for me. I start filming on a Saturday. I set all the cameras up. I set the track up. I have to get the surface and rake it all up and get the weeds gone and get the batteries up, the cars up, and I get it all out. I run for about an hour, driving the cars, taking the B-roll and all that. I have to then pack it all away, and then I have to take it all back down to the garage and clean it all up, put all that away. That's a whole Saturday. And then it takes me probably twice that amount of time, maybe 15 hours to edit those videos up with the voiceovers, the camera, getting all the cuts with the cameras at different times. It is not a quick process. I love doing them, but it is not a quick process in filming those. Now, I'm sure that there are people that could do it a lot quicker than me, but I try to do it to the best of my ability, and I want to get it right because I can't afford to make a mistake. I can't go rerun that. Once I've said I'm doing it, it's got to be right first time.
Yeah.
So that's me. Go on, Mark, you take the next one. If you're going to do a video, how long does it take you to do it? What does it look like?
Well, I think our experiences are very similar. I think all of us will have the same experience. Yeah, I understand every single word that you're saying there, mate. It's exactly the same for me. Going back to the builds, for the build videos, obviously it takes a while to build a Tamiya car. A more complicated one, XVO1 or something like that, would probably take 3 days maybe.
Wow.
On and off, not flat out, but on and off. But you stick the camera and put that involved, and then try and get everything in the shot. And then if you make a mistake or there's something that's not going quite right, you've got to undo it all again, because you can't show somebody how to build it incorrectly. Obviously, you're trying to do an instructional video, and I make a lot of mistakes.
Because I've been there doing that with the camera, and then you realise that none of it's in shot, and you've built it completely off camera.
Absolutely, one of the hardest things.
Up in there, dude.
When you're zoomed in, it is really difficult to do, because you've got to watch what you're doing. You're not looking at the monitor, if you've got a monitor at all. It is really difficult. And then, so it would probably treble, quadruple the time to build a kit for me to film it as well.
Wow.
And then once I've done that, I try to cut out all the, I was going to say CRAP, all the bits that you don't need to say, the bits you don't need to see out of it. And then my trademark thing is I do a crossfade through, so it looks smooth to the next shot, That takes probably longer than building the car. Sometimes I'm doing the edit and I'm just get to one point and go, I can't do this anymore. My eyes are going fuzzy. I can't. It's just too, and I have to have a break and come back the next day. It could take me 2 weeks to make a real video. Seriously.
Is all your voiceover, Mark, when you're building that and you're doing it on the overhead, is all your voiceover real time? None of it's a recording. No.
No.
Wow.
It's no voiceover. It's just real time. Yeah. So if I make a mistake with the vocal, I have to then refilm that part again. So yeah, it takes forever. I don't think people have got any idea how long it takes to do something like that. But I like the end products, and I'm proud of it when I've finished it. So I don't care if people don't watch it. But luckily people do watch most of them. So yeah. So that's that with those. And for the run ones, I don't want to take up all the airtime here, guys. But that last Rolalo buggy that I did, it took me a whole afternoon to do film the intro to it, because I make so many mistakes on camera. I get the wrong lines, I say the wrong thing, and I have to do it over and over and over until I got it right. Try to remember everything, all the the specs and whatever. And then, like you say, you've got to set up the cameras, my lights. I haven't got enough room for a full-time studio, so I have to cart everything in and set it up. That takes an hour. Then go through all that, set the camera up, the mics, and then I went to, I think, 3 locations I drove to on 3 different days, and then went to the one location and the footage was corrupt, so I had to go back the next day. Then I had to do all the editing. So yeah, you're talking enormous amount of input and time and effort for either a film video or a build. Sorry.
Have you got the tricks, Phil? Are you going to tell us it takes you half an hour and you got the magic sauce here?
He's going to say the same as us. You watch.
Yeah, exactly. I wish it was that easy, guys. I wish you could do that, but no. I mean, a really good example. I was talking to a friend just before Christmas. I did a video on my Midnight Pumpkin, a bunch of modifications and a bunch of mods running it, blah blah blah. And I got a lot of really great feedback from everybody, like, "Oh, we love these videos. We love watching this kind of thing."
More.
Yeah, huge audience response. And so that video is 27 minutes long, and it took me 4 days from start to finish.
Yeah.
So to give you an idea, 4 days to make a 27-minute long video. And you guys watch I keep my pace up pretty quick in my videos. Like I don't have a lot. Like I actually go in, and if I have a half second of dead air, I cut it out. I physically come in and I cut that piece out. So it's like I try to save as much time for the viewer as possible, keep it content rich, dead air. Keep that limited. But yeah, that took 4 days. So you might think, I mean, how can it take so long to build a car? But when you've got aftermarket parts on top of aftermarket parts, things don't just work. Come on, we all know that. That screw doesn't line up. Come on, there's a 3-inch gap there. What the heck? I'm not going to sit there for half an hour on camera. What the beep 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 effing beep? You know what I mean? Like you edit all that out. So that one. That was a really interesting one. And the one that I did last year, I did I reviewed the Rolalo XTS F10. and I did a Ken Block memorial video. Ken Block had died the year before, and it was a replica of Ken Block's Ford Fiesta. So I pulled the audio from Gymkhana 8 or whatever it was, 7 or something, whichever one that he drove the Fiesta. He drove in a couple, but I pulled all the audio from Ken Block's Gymkhana, the motor sounds, the backfire sounds, the acceleration, the deceleration, the tires squealing, and I made a 3.5 minute video of the Relarlo, doing its thing, and I synced up all that audio perfectly to where that Relarlo's got that. What's that, Mark?
Isn't that when you had the helicopter view as well of it?
Yep. I had a drone pilot with me on that one, 3 or 4 cameras.
Everything going on.
I remember it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was nuts. And that was 2 or 3 days of filming. By the time we were done, we had like 180 gigabytes of data. And like, to compress that into a 3-minute video and then someone tell you it sucks, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just
timing
me,
those
Phil?
little backfire lights when it goes pop pop, or it goes pop 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 2 or 4 times to time the audio to that, and it's a tremendous amount of work. You have no idea how much work it is unless you've done it.
So the first time I did the Orchard Raceway series, I had all the separate cameras all set up, and I didn't have anywhere near the experience I have now in video editing, and I used to line up the cuts on the videos to the timestamps on and then match them all up manually. So to sync up that video would take me just hours and hours of I haven't quite got the cut right on the time, so I've got to extend it and then I've got to make the video bigger and then line it back up again. It used to take me hours and hours and hours. And now I've got this can that you put all the videos in, and then you can cut to different cameras and it syncs it all up by the audio, and it's so much quicker, but it still takes me a whole day to edit, even now. Yeah, it's mad. A lot of time goes into it, doesn't it? A lot of time goes into this.
A lot of time. A lot of time. Yeah.
I was just going to say, after what Phil was just saying about that 3-minute video, if you do like a review and you're filming all the shots to get to the run bit of the video, how much time generally do you think you have in total on footage? Because for me, if I'm doing probably the 5 or 6 minutes run, I might sometimes film for an hour to pick the decent
100%.
shots, to get the good shots.
That's right. Because you don't always know what you're getting either, right? When you're filming running videos, you don't know what you're filming, so you need to really get a lot of footage, because you've got Rob helping you, but you don't know if Rob's catching it on the shot or not. I do all my stuff solo. I'm like doing one of these, you know what I mean? Like rubbing the belly, patting the head, and hoping I don't trip and fall on my face, because you're driving with one hand, you got the GoPro, on the stick on the other, and you're walking over logs and it's wet out, and then someone's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And you're like, "Huh?" And you fall, and it's
you're like, "Did I get that? I don't know. I better do it again." That's what I do.
No idea. I better do it again.
I got that. I better do that again. I'll do it 3 times and hope that one of them is good on camera. So I'm not alone. I'm glad to hear this. I didn't think I would be, though.
I like using multiple cameras too, so it's like that. It's a curse and a blessing, because it makes for good footage. But oh my god, like Craig was saying, trying to sync up the multiple cameras, and sometimes you want audio on one but not on the other one. So when it works, it looks great. But you know how much time it takes to make that work.
I do. We do.
So
you guys know.
We put a lot of time and effort into this, clearly. Just out of interest, so I've got 1,800 subscribers, so I'm the baby of the bunch. Mark, how many subs have you got now?
16,800 or something like that.
16,800, nearly 17,000. And Phil, you're nearly 40?
Just under, 39,600 something.
Round it up to 40. 40 sounds good, doesn't it? You're nearly there. Yeah.
I'd love to get to 20. That'd make me happy if I get to 20. I'll be.
I'd love to get to 2. I just want to get to 2. That's my aim.
You'll do it, mate. Do not worry. I guarantee you will get there.
So here's the questions. Let's play a little game, right? So if you put a video up, just a standard video, just a generic one that you would do every week, yeah. How many views do you expect to get? What's your sort of, because everyone has like I want to hit this number. Be interesting just to see how that differs between 2,000 subs, 17,000 subs, and 40-something thousand subs. So If I put a video up on the weekend and it's a running video or a build video, my aim is 300 views. That's what I'm looking to achieve on that. 300. That's it. If I get 300, that's a good video. Yeah.
In how many days?
That'll be over the weekend. So, because for me, it dies off. It hits a Sunday. If I put the video on a Friday, by Sunday afternoon, no one's watching it. It's done. It's dead.
Okay. Well, I try to upload on Friday evening. So yeah, I would hope on a good video that by Sunday I would have 2,000. If it's really good, I might get 4 or 5. If it's a crawler video, I might get 500, Craig.
Yeah.
My last crawler one, that little cheap thing, is actually doing really well, much better than the other ones. But yeah, I'd say 2,000 I'll be happy with by
Phil?
Yeah, depending on what the video is, there's a lot of variables, because I still love making, like, I love making running videos. People tell me they love watching them, but the numbers stink. It's just what it is. So if I drop a running video on a Saturday, which I wouldn't do, I try and save Saturdays for like a really content rich video. But if I were to drop it on a Saturday, by the end of the day, Sunday, I'd be lucky to be at 1,000 views. But if I drop something like my Midnight Pumpkin, where there's a lot going on, where I'm building, modifying, lots of different hop ups, lots of stuff to capture people's interest, that's a good performing video. I could be at like 3,000 in a couple of days, in a day or two, maybe 4 if it goes really well. Four would be a really good performing video in a couple of days. Yeah. And
I think it really differs though on the actual video itself, because if that video, like Phil's saying, is probably just over double what I'd get, which is over double the size of sub count that I've got. But the difference is, after that, if it does start off well, then over the next few weeks, that makes all the difference. Then if it starts off well, then Phil's will be probably up in the 20,000s after a few weeks, whereas mine might tail off into like 5 or 6. So that's where I think channel size does make a difference. Is it in that bit of a longer term? It must have an effect.
It must have an effect on the YouTube algorithms as well, because very rarely do I get anything that goes beyond a weekend. It just dies so quickly. But every now and then something catches and you'll watch it go. And I did a DB01 SR video where I talked about that was coming. Tamiya were releasing it, and that video's got like 5,000 views. Now, I never get anything that gets that sort of view count. But because it was a hot topic and people were interested, it just kept going and going and going. And it's still going now because it just keeps getting the clicks. So it's finding that something that goes, but to me, it's so random. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's because something worked one time, it doesn't mean it comes back and works again the second time you do it. I did a catalog video where I flicked through the Tamiya catalog, and it had 20,000 views, and I was like, oh, this is it, I've cracked it. I did another one, 1,000. No one watched it. Just absolute toast.
Who knows?
Magic. It is weird. And it's got to catch on early too. The YouTube algorithm is it doesn't give a damn about you, because the next creator is just uploading right after you anyway. So it doesn't care. So that impressions click-through rate, that metric, is so important. And they give you some tools, like, you can do beta test your thumbnails. You can do that kind of A/B testing your thumbnails and your titles and all that. Does it actually help? I think it does, but it's hard to say.
I've tried it.
Yeah, you got to make that impression right out of the gate, because if you don't make the impression out of the gate, YouTube will just drop you like a bag of rocks, and you got to get on your next video. It's how it is.
I think was there a question coming up about this? Am I allowed to say, Craig, about audience retention? Should we talk about this later? Or
we'll get into some of those in a minute. So we're going to do audience Q&A in a minute, and we've got some questions that we've had come in. But before we get to that, I want to ask one final question, and this is the sort of the stuff that I think everyone dreams about. It's okay, I'm monetized now, so what? And I had this ambition that I would hit the point where I would become monetized, and I would see this wonderful thing happen, and YouTube would start to send me some money, and it would all be lovely. And that happens, and it is lovely. But what I found is it's nowhere near what my expectations perhaps were when I became monetized. So I went over 1,000 subs and had the view time middle part of last year. And in the first 12 months of being monetized on my channel, I made a grand total of £200. £200. And that was after YouTube took taxes off for the US income and it coming over to the UK. But it certainly wasn't what I was hoping for. Okay, for this to maybe fund my hobby. And I was for a period of time I was quite depressed about it. I was like, oh, this just isn't worth it. You know, it's not worth all the effort, because I was hoping that it would generate some income. But I've come to peace with that now. And
it's funny because they don't give you any idea, do they? YouTube does not tell any creators. There's no idea of what kind of money you can. They just don't tell you. You just have to get monetized to find it out.
To find out,
basically.
Yeah. So for those people out there that are, because some people did ask me that question, you know, how much do you earn on YouTube? It certainly doesn't pay what I put into the hobby. You know, if that makes sense. What I spend on YouTube is a lot more. Don't tell my wife. It's a lot more than what I make back off of it at the end of it all. And I just wonder whether you guys find that's the same for you, because you've obviously got bigger view bases, bigger numbers. Do you find it's the same?
Absolutely the same. I think when I first got monetized, I was earning between £10 and £15 a month before tax. And now I've got 16 times that number of subs. It's not 16 times more, I can tell you that. I don't know why, but it's not a lot more. So, yeah, it doesn't pay for my cameras. It doesn't pay for my software. It doesn't pay for any of the kits I buy. It helps. It all helps. So I'm not grumbling, but I couldn't live. There's no way I could live off it. No, not
you have to love.
Near.
You have to love it. Don't you? You have to love the hobby to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil,
it's just a nice trickle coming in. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Is all I'll say. Yeah.
Are we dreaming big, Phil? Is it different when we get to 40?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't.
That's a no then.
No, I mean, no, don't. 40,000 subs. And listen, one thing I think is really important is to also address the fact that not all 40,000 sub channels are created equal. So I can look at someone who's really close to me. There's another Canadian, doesn't live too far from me, Discipline RC. Great guy, great channel, super charismatic dude, great on camera.
I like him.
He's a brilliant dude, and funny, and just like, I love the guy, and great content, really neat, unique editing style as well. So I really like him because he's not like anyone else. And
is it
and
Aaron,
I can look at Aaron. Yep. He's a beauty. And, you know, he gets a lot more views. So not only does sub count influence your revenue, but the view does, right? So you need to get the big views. And he's really good at getting that big chunk of views right off the hop, where that's an area that I really need to improve upon. So like myself, I don't earn a ton, guys. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I made more money in high school than I make now. Okay. So put it that way. I made my money with my big boy job for 20 some odd years in auto body. And I made some good financial decisions, and my wife earns good money. And that's why I'm allowed to do what I do today. But I certainly don't do it for the money. I hope that day comes, and that is the goal. I mean, I can't do this forever at this rate. In 2 years, if Poor Boys RC isn't financially responsible, I got to look in the mirror and be like, what am I doing, dude? You're 50 years old and you're doing this YouTube thing. And, you know, I still have a lot of good working years ahead of me, you know, so I need to make that decision if that time comes. So, but then, you know, it's not just the AdSense revenue either though, right? You've got at this point, you know, I've got some affiliate links, and that can be a revenue stream as well. So you start looking at these multiple revenue streams, affiliate links, if you get paid to do reviews. And there are a lot of companies that, I mean, I don't get paid to do 99% of my reviews, but if I get someone asking me to do a review on a product that, if it's a new company and I really don't know I don't really, you know, I kind of feel like I'm sticking my neck out. I'm not going to put my neck out for just anyone. I'm like, you're going to pay me for that. And then 10 times out of 10, they're like, we don't want to do business with you. So, you know, Temu paid a couple times, but then it's like, it's Temu. I don't want to deal with you guys anymore either. So, so that ended. So you can get paid to do reviews, but even that's, I think, a dying thing, unless you're a really big influencer. But at 40,000, you're not a big influencer. At least I'm not. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I'm not. And I can look you in the eye and tell you I made more money in high school than I make now.
So there you go. Those that asked that question, hopefully we've answered it as honestly and truthfully as we can do. So let's take a few more questions I wrote out to the communities and I said, look, give us some questions for this. And we've got a stack of them. So I'm going to get through as many as I can. If I don't get through them all, I'm really sorry. And maybe you guys just decide who's going to chip in and answer this particular question. Yeah, how about that? So first up, we've got Pumpkin QDRC, who hit us up on YouTube, I think it was. I lost track of where I got these from. What are you guys thinking of YouTube Shorts? An easy way to get lots of views, but are they ruining for the channels that produce longer videos? It seems like YouTube are promoting Shorts more than before. Thanks for a good podcast. Well, thank you for listening. Who wants to take that one?
Grab it, Mark. I just talked.
Go on, Mark.
No, I don't.
Why
like
not?
them. I don't think they fit our genre, our niche. I think if you're looking at either a running video or a build video, you need widescreen, you need a real good overhead view or a zoomed in view. Being in that narrow format doesn't fit what we do. I don't think. You can do like a little flash video about a crawler or something, but to see an RC car in its elements going what it should be doing, going horizontally or vertically and down, it's the wrong format, I think. And
Phil?
none of my shorts have ever done any good at all. I've got nothing over 10,000 views, and I've got long format ordinary videos 150,000 views. So it just doesn't work for me. Sorry, Phil?
Yeah, I look at Shorts as an add-on to the channel. I'm kind of like Mark. I don't like making them. I'm also 47 years old, so I don't have the, no offense to the young listeners, but there's an age gap and there's a difference in content consumption methodology. And young people really like to just see blah, 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 flash, this, that, 30 seconds, boom, on to the next one. We're a bunch of old farts. And like Mark said, I want to see that car in slow motion, those Pete Wiley droplets of water. I want to see the grass shooting up in slow motion. I want to see that Mateo jump. I want the immersive experience, and Shorts are the antithesis of the immersive experience. They're Absolutely. The Cole's notes, the quick notes of the cliff notes of the immersive experience. So I make them. They're relatively easy to make. I just do it for the people that want to do it. And the way I look at it is I use it as a tool to bring viewers to my channel. Running videos are a good example of this because, again, I love making them. They don't generate a ton of views. But if I take a short running video, 2.5 minutes, and convert that into a reel or a short or whatever that, the vertical format, I'll get a lot of people that are like, whoa, dude, amazing video. I'm like, watch it in widescreen, dude. Then you really get it, How would you even watch it in this vertical formation? To me, it's just cringy, but that's the young generation. That's what they watch. So to me, it's a value add tool that would hopefully drive traffic to the website, to the main channel, to bring in new viewers.
I tried it for a period of time. I did a short every day to link to other videos that I was doing, and it was exhausting. I was absolutely exhausted by it. And I also did a build series. I built an Optima Mid on Shorts. I remember that. And it was just, I found it so hard. It was so much hard work. And I don't even bother with them now. I do them for the podcast because it's nice to get a couple of sound bites that you can link back to the podcast video. And that's worked quite well because we can have little snippets of our discussion that kind of acts as almost like a teaser in. But for running videos or build videos, it just hasn't worked for me. So
but then again,
hopefully
don't you agree? with what you were saying, that, but don't you agree though that those videos you're on about for the podcast are like this vertical format with faces? I think that's what it's really built for. It's not built for like a car going across the landscape. It's built for what we're doing now, I think.
I think so.
Anyway.
Yeah. So shorts.
I'll shut up now.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan.
Next question, Santiago. Hi, Santiago. How you doing?
Oh, what a lovely chap. Hello, Santiago.
He is the best, isn't he? He's like such a nice guy.
Lovely
he said, well, we've kind of answered this a little bit, but I'm going to ask it again anyway. So his question was, which other YouTubers do you admire or find inspiring? Well, I think we said Matteo is up there. Yeah. Is there anyone else that we want to give a shout out to?
Pete Wiley.
Yeah, Pete.
He's one of mine.
Pete Wiley, yeah.
I made a couple of notes. There was something I wanted to say about that was I mainly watch small channels. And I support small channels because I was a small channel as well, but not for just that reason, because I like what those guys are doing. So basically, if you're out there and you're watching this and I've commented on your videos, it's because I dig what you're doing. I'm not just doing it to blow smoke. That's why I'm doing it. And I like all those small channels.
Fair play, Mark.
Seriously, like all of us here, we were all, well, we're still small, really, aren't we? But you guys are what I watch, and tons of others, just like you, I, and us, and them between, basically. Other things that I do appreciate though is cinematography. I've always been a bit of a photography fan. I've always been quite arty. I got the chance to go to art school when I left school. I chose engineering in the end, but camera work, like you were saying about Matteo's videos. I love the kind of the way they set the camera up, the depth of field, and all that kind of stuff. The way it's all lit and whatever. And I just want to mention my friend Steve at RC Crawlers Mid Wales. If you've not seen that guy's videos, they are astounding. Honestly,
yeah, he gets really good scaled shots, doesn't he?
Something, the way he does with those crawls and the shots he gets are amazing. So that's the kind of thing I appreciate, and they're generally small channels. So if you're a small channel out there, guys, keep it up. We are watching.
That's good.
Answer.
Phil, got anyone to shout out to? Any channels that have inspired you?
Yeah, I'd say, like, Matteo aside, I'll give you two names, and they're very contrasting. First one I'm going to give you is Vintage Backyard RC. I love what that guy
slow
does.
Motion stuff, yeah.
Dude, like, he's always got a great new car, and he's got that, like, the dedication of this man. He had like a little track in his front yard. I think I heard something. I might be wrong with this, so don't quote me on it. But something about a neighbor got upset that he had like a little track up front. So he built his whole backyard. Like, this guy is committed. And he converted his whole backyard into a racetrack. He's got multiple cameras set up. He edits it beautifully. This nice, clean little jump, you know what I mean? And he gets the slow-mo shots. And after he runs the car, he'll give you the slow-mos, And, like, I think we're all suckers for that. Seeing an old Kyosho, an old Tamiya, 500 or 700 frames per second just soaring. It's beautiful. So he's a good example of a smaller channel that I just adore.
Can I just say before you go on, he was a total inspiration for the Altered Raceway. That channel, watching him doing what he was doing in his front yard, made me go, shit, I could do that. And then I realized how much hard work it was and how hard it was, all those multiple cameras. And then he went one up. He was like, he had this rig. Did you ever see it? We had this cable car thing with the camera on it, and it zoomed down as the car was going. And he coded it all up with like a sensor. And at that point, I was like, this guy I'm out. There's no way I can even compete with that. I'm done.
He's too good. He's too good. He's way too good. He deserves way more credit, for what he's done.
Absolutely,
he does a really great job. The other guy I really look up to is Tom Lee, Phil Tomley, pretty much because his name's Phil. That's the only reason. There needs to be more Phils in positions of power on planet Earth, and that's the only reason. No, but I really do like, again, I started this channel just to piss around with the GoPro and some toy cars. And today it's my livelihood. And the way I didn't know where Poor Boys RC was going to go. I was just kind of going with the flow and seeing what I can do with the resources that I have. And And one thing I've learned that I'd say I learned from Tom Lee RC is that, like, I just love this hobby. And I think I share that similarity with him. Like, I don't care if it's a 1/64th scale mini drifter or if it's a 1/5 scale big gasser or anything else in between. I love this hobby, and I'm very passionate about it. I've been into RC since I was 6 years old. I'm now 47, 41 years I've been playing with these toy cars, and I love it. It's never changed, and it's never going to stop. And I love sharing it. Now that we have this ability to share with people online and build online communities, I think Phil has done an incredible job of that.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, big tier YouTubers, I think he does, in my opinion, the best job. Something that I'd aspire to do one day.
Yeah, it's the only really big channel that I do watch, because I remember when I started, I emailed Phil a few things about becoming monetized and stuff, and he really took the time to help me out. I mean, he wasn't that big now, back then, but like I say, we've spoke on emails and whatever. He seems a really nice guy, and he seems the same now. Now he's got like 180,000 subs or whatever, as he was when he got 10,000 subs. He's just the same guy doing the same thing, and hats off to the guy.
I was talking to him before this podcast, and just asking him, and he is coaching me on how to do what he does.
Wow.
And I've always really respected people like that, because the big reason being that I don't believe that RC YouTubing, that there's any sort of famine going on. We can all feast on content. People love content, and we make pretty short format videos. So you watch a 3-minute video from Mark Bryan, well, then you jump over to Craig, then you jump over to Phil, and you know what I mean? And we can only produce so much, as we've discussed. Mm-hmm. So you can only, as creators, we can only make so much. So Tom Lee's one of these guys that doesn't hesitate to stop, say, hey man, maybe try tweaking that, maybe do this, get bigger, get better. I'm going to help you. I've done that with a lot of people. You guys, I know you guys have done that with a lot of people. And I think that when we help each other out, we all kind of win as a community in a hobby, doing the thing that we love. And he's an advocate. He's a good dude that way. And and there needs to be more people like that in the world, and I'm not sitting here kissing his butt. We need to help each other out, not tear each other down. And he's doing a good job of helping people out.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe he could be a future guest. We could do a special guest edition of the podcast, and we could get him on, and he could tell us about RCs. How about that? Let's set that up at some point.
He might,
Phil, get in touch, bud. Get in touch. So that was Santiago. Great question, Santiago. Thanks for watching the channel and supporting us all. Right, Mike, the Picker 8011. What a great name. Tell us one secret about being a YouTuber that the audience doesn't know.
I got one.
Go on, Mark.
Having a video with paid promotion on it doesn't mean you've been blooming paid to make the video. That's what I think. It gets on my nerves, the amount of people who go, oh, you've been paid. You're only saying that because you've been paid. I have never been paid 1 penny for any video I've ever made. So I'd like to make that perfectly clear to everyone out there. We are not getting sent tons of cash and a script to say anything we say. That bugs me. Does it you, Phil? Bugs me. Oh, you're only saying that because you've been paid. No, I've been sent a battery that's been worth 15 quid, and I've spent probably 50 quid making a video about a £15 battery, because I want to do it to inform people. Is this any bloody good buying? Not because I'm sorry, I get a bit about that, I know, but it does wind me up. That people think that you're just being paid to say stuff, and it's just not true.
Paid promotion is something you have to put on if you were given the item. So you're essentially saying, I got whatever it is for free, or I did receive money for it, but it's very rare in what we do. And that's what it means. I was given it for free. But that could also mean that I sent you, Mark, a car, and you would have to say it was paid promotion because someone gave it to you. They gifted it to you. Yeah.
Which is nonsense, but there you go.
Which is nonsense.
There's no point. I don't want to waste the time in the video trying to explain that to people, because it just sounds like you're making excuses. But we've got a forum here where we could say what we think. So I'm saying what I think, and But
I've got something that's not necessarily a secret, but it's something that I learned the hard way, and that is writing a script makes it actually more difficult to do the video than if you didn't have the script in the first place.
About that. Yeah.
I am awful.
I think
awful.
Depends how your mind
I'm with
works,
you there. I
think.
couldn't do it. I might make
Can't do
notes
it.
on occasion, but everything I say is just.
I did a whole script word for word. That's what I was going to say, and I just could not get the video done. I found it so much harder to do with the script.
I believe it.
Phil, you got any secrets about being a YouTuber that the audience doesn't know?
Yeah, if you think you're gonna just jump in, do it, it's gonna be cheap, fun, and easy, and you're gonna make money, you're wrong. I've talked to a lot. I'm not gonna name names, but a lot of YouTubers, and we've all kind of had a laugh saying, if I knew how time-consuming and expensive it would be to do it, I probably never would have got started in the first place. And I think that's the reality of it. I've got tens of thousands of dollars worth of inventory and camera gear, and I'm constantly having to buy new, hard drive. I film in 4K, so I'm busting out external hard drives constantly, and it's not cheap. It's really expensive to do this.
Yeah.
Monoshock
4K. I had to ditch 4K
T-shirt. You know what I mean? It's expensive.
Yeah, 4K is tough on the old memory, isn't it?
Sure is.
But
I love how it looks on screen. You got to do these cars justice. You need those knobby tires. You need that ultra high def. Come on.
The advantage with 4K
I get it.
is when you crop it down to get the zoom in shots, you still get super good quality when you crop it.
Yeah.
And that's the massive advantage is you can go, I want to zoom in on that bit, and you just go, whoop, and it still looks great on YouTube. Whereas it's hard to do that if you're in 1080p.
Yeah.
Correct. Any lower than that, don't even think about it.
No, forget it. Yeah. Forget it. You're not cropping anything. So that was a good question from Mike. Thanks for that, Mike. The next guy, I'm gonna totally ruin this guy's name, and I apologize in advance. This is the danger of doing this. You see, you've got to read people's names out. Erica Nosreda. I think I've got that right. Sorry if I've got that wrong. So they said, what is the biggest hurdle in getting the confidence to put yourself in front of the camera? I'd like to know if any of you guys had issues with that. I'm sure everyone puts on a YouTube face just like we all have to do in certain situations. I feel that side of things would be tough for some. So I'll start with this one because this was the first time that I put myself on a camera. It was this podcast, doing it with you guys with the video. Up to that point, I had very rarely appeared on the camera because I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be a faceless channel. I wanted just to be the desk, the car, and that's what I wanted. And doing this was a real hurdle for me. I had to really go, do you know what? I'm gonna do this. This is something I'm not sure I want to do, but actually I think it works really well for the format. And I do camera work for work, so I'm on a camera all day for work, Teams calls, whatever it might be. I don't have a problem with that, but I wanted to keep it private. Yeah. So doing this for me was a big step. But now I've done it, I thought, well, maybe I'll go now to filming all my videos now when I do my videos. Don't want to do that. Yeah, I just want to keep it as I had it before because that's what people associate when they see my channel. They don't associate me. They associate the car, the desk, the bench, that sort of stuff. So that was me, guys.
And your voice. And your voice.
And my silky smooth voice.
You've got a very distinct, a lovely voice, Craig.
Oh, thank you,
people, that's a big part of the channel, I think, is listening to you talk. People like your talkies. So,
they do. They do, yeah.
Keep it up, mate. Keep it
Love
up,
a bit of talkies. There's a whole other story about my voice, but I'll save that for another day. Mark, have you? What about you being on camera? Did you have any qualms about it when we started?
When I first started, it was my son Alf, and he was still, like I said, when we started out on this, he was probably 13, and he just got his first cell phone, smartphone, and he's like, "Oh, I'll film you doing this, Dad." And I think one of the first build videos I did was a TTO2, how to put a brushless motor in a TTO2. That video is still going strong, it's still got 85,000 views or something. And it was just Alfie filming me sticking this motor in his car. And he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, Dad. It's just me. Like, you're just talking to me." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm just talking to Alf." So that's the way I started it. That made it really easy. I used to be into teaching as well, so I was used to talking to kids, not adults maybe, but kids. So I'm used to kind of speaking to people. And the way Alfie started me off with it, that just kind of, I was like, well, it's just me.
Nice.
If people don't like it, they don't like it. It's just like I'll just talk and be myself and do what I can. And yeah, although strangely though, sometimes when I'm filming myself in the kitchen where I film everything, just me and the camera, I find that quite difficult. I actually get nervous of filming
Really?
myself. Yeah, when Rob's there and he's talking, it's just like a chat. It's like when it was with Alfie, and I'm talking to the person on the other side of the, and I'm not thinking about the camera. But when I'm just to camera on my own, and I know I've got to deliver, I struggle with that. I really do.
Phil,
yeah,
you the same?
So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Mark. I mean, best advice I can say is go make 200 videos, and then it takes a while to get used to. It took me 200 videos to get used to it, and so I went to business school. In high school, I took extra business credit. So I was a young guy and I was doing presentations. I was like 23 years old out of college, fresh out of college, doing presentations for these marketing firms and stuff. And I had no problem talking to 3,000 people in an arena.
Wow.
Or not arena, but like in a whatever, big conference
forum,
center. But then I sit here in my room and I talk to my cell phone or my GoPro or whatever camera I'm using, and I'm stuttering. I'm like, I can't talk. I can't string two words together, So it was weird. Like I had to teach myself, like this is 40,000 people, dude. Talk to those 40,000 people, and I had to learn to. And it took me 200 videos or so to do it, and I'm still figuring it out every day. Every time I do it, my intro is the first intro the intro that you guys see in my video is usually like the third or fourth or fifth that I recorded. Because I'm like a robot. Hello, poor boys, RC, beep, zop, zorp. Like I'm so rigid, It's weird talking to a phone, it's like, pretending it's 40,000 people.
Snap. I'm exactly the same. It's not easy.
So Eric, I hope that helps. I mean, go and do 200 videos and you'll get the hang of it. Easy.
Easy peasy. Start recording right now.
Good luck.
Are you guys all right if we carry on going? There's a few more questions. Are you guys all right for time? Keep going.
I'm down the clown. Let's go.
Okay, so next guy up is Tom Wendy Smokes. And Tom said...
Hello, Tom.
So this is a great one. This is a bit of an observation. It's mad how everything takes much longer when recording or even longer to edit. Absolutely, we talked about that, right? But I've got a question too. Do you still feel weird recording out in public, especially when people walk past? I had a few wild humans appear while I was recording my last video. Now, Phil, one of your last videos, you had someone pull up in a car and just start randomly talking while you were. So I think you should definitely start this one.
How weird was that, dude? I'm walking. And keep in mind, it is like a freaking, like we had an atmospheric river fall. That's a term they use in Canada. I don't know if you guys use it over here on your side of the pond, but let's just say it's pissing rain out. I'm outside filming.
We use that one.
Yeah.
I'm filming a 24 scale Toyota Tacoma from FMS. So I'm like, you know what I mean? And this woman pulls up to me and you can see her pull up to me because I got the camera facing, and you see this little car come up, and she goes, "I was just taking photos of that lady with the umbrella over there." I'm like, "What? What are you doing?" "I was taking photos of that lady with the umbrella, and I think you should go let her know that I was doing that." And I'm like, "Okay." And I turn around and walk back the other way. I'm like, "I'm not doing that." Like, can you imagine? I'm 6'4", 280 pounds. I am not a small human being. I'm all black, and I come up to you with a hood on like this. And I'm like, "Hi, we're taking photos of you in the rain." Like, are you kidding me? Like,
call the police.
No, I'm not doing that, you psycho. Yeah, I'm used to it now. Like I used to almost feel shame, because again, grown ass man walking around chasing toy cars with a GoPro. You get some looks. People can be judgy, but today I don't give a shit. I don't give a hoot because this is me, man. This is what I do. I love what I do. I'm blessed to be able to do what I do for a living. And if you don't like it, go pound rocks. And I think there's something too, like when you just walk with confidence and you're just like, I own this. This is what I'm doing today. You put out a different vibe, a different frequency into the world. And so what happens now is I find more and more people engage with me, like random strangers taking photos of other random strangers. But a lot of my videos now, you'll see people interacting. And sometimes I put those interactions in because they're fun, authentic interactions sometimes. And that comes with just, years of practice, I guess, and experience.
I think it also depends if people see you in the same spot doing the same stuff. If they get that familiarity, that helps, right?
It's normality.
100%.
Yeah. It's nice because when I was out doing that last crawler video, that little white thing, the Range Rover thing, I met two guys up at Liso's Park where we filmed. Never met anyone there before, and it was so nice, and they were so enthusiastic. We had such a brilliant
TRX4.
Chat. Yes, that guy had the TRX4. Yeah.
That's cool.
Love it. We've made friends with him. We're on Facebook now. He's messaging me. We're going to go out to have a crawling session. I mean, what a wonderful meeting.
Did he recognise you though, Mark, from the channel? Did he watch your channel?
No, he didn't. He didn't know my channel. No, but straight away he went, "Oh, he saw my hat, Mark Bryan." He went, "Oh, I've subbed you." I went, "Oh, appreciate that, mate." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm watching your video. Oh, I've seen that H12. Why now? I want to buy one." So he was watching the videos and that. So instant friends. That was really nice. But on top of that, I was just going to say, I don't think I've had. I don't remember one negative kind of contact with somebody out there filming. Not one. Everyone's been supportive. Everyone either thought it was funny, smiling, or had a nice comment. I've never had a bad comment at all. The only bad thing was that person that ran over my MF-01X in public. But apart from
one of the funniest moments. You and Rob, you're
that
like,
was brilliant.
"Don't run it over, no!" And then Rob zoomed in.
Yeah, what a moment. I'm kind of glad it happened in a way because it was like cinematic.
But then you drove it back, and the wheels were all flat, and rolling in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was great.
But apart from that woman trying to trash my car, every other meeting's been pretty good. So
there you go, Tom. Just get out, film in public, and don't go too near other people's cars.
He's obviously going to the wrong. He's obviously going to the wrong parks.
So
no more comments
Richard
about
Lowe.
that.
Richard's another YouTuber. Hey, Richard, how you doing? Richard's
Richard,
a really nice guy, actually. He's going to be at one of the Club 80 meets, I'm sure, at some point. I'm going to get to race with him. But he contacted me the other day, and he said he'd like to send me a Cougar, a Schumacher Cougar 2, to put on the track. His Cougar. He's seen my driving as well, and he still wants to send me this thing because he reckons it'll beat the Top Force around the track. So he's going to send me a car. He's going to let me put it and lap it. And he said I should do a guest car every year on the Orchard Raceway. And I thought it was quite a good idea. So we're going to hook up and sort that out. But he asked the question about the scripts and the videos. And I think I said earlier that I don't do it. Do you guys script any of your videos? Do you script anything?
Well, Phil's already said no.
No, I might make notes. I might make notes, like the occasional. If there's something that has just a lot of information and I can't memorize it all, or I can't keep kind of the notes in my brain, I'll jot a few notes down. But that's it. I've never once used a script, and I never will. I can't. My brain doesn't work that way.
Well, I'm going to excuse myself because I'm like twice as old as you guys, so my brain's a bit more. So no, I do write scripts. If I have to do a voiceover, if I've got a run video, when we did the Summer Slam, Craig, and I was voicing. You did voiceovers as well, but you're brilliant, so you can just do them off the top of your head. So you were commentating, but me, I had to make the video and then do the voiceover. So I did write a script. So I'd go right. So this happens, then that happens. So I need to say, oh, and Craig's done this, and oh, Dom's crashed it, and So I did do scripts for those, but I think it sounded scripted. You could tell, which is never as good as somebody just talking off the hip.
Yeah, I agree. I always find it's quite wooden.
Craig's brilliant at.
I can't do it.
For all the other videos,
it just impacts the video too much for me.
Yeah, you've just got a knack of it, mate, and I think people can tell. But other than that, I'm like Phil. I'll write a list of bullet points. So if I'm doing a review and the car's got this motor, this servo, and it's a lot of information to remember, how many kV, whatever, I will write a list of those so that I can just glance and go, oh, I need to say that. But otherwise, it's just totally off the top of the head, basically.
So there you go, Richard. No scripts.
Nonsense.
No scripts over here. Yeah. So I've got sort of a tied-in question here. So Haven Saw sent us a message and said, what cameras and what tools do you guys use? And then Mark McKellar said, what software do we use for our RC editing? And that's Mark from Cosmic RC.
Nice one.
So
does he mean tools as in not tools to work on the car?
I think it sort of must have. He was talking about camera, so he must be talking about filming. Yeah. So
Right.
what filming stuff do we use?
Well, I know you two use the same camera.
Oh, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
I said, I know you two have got the same camera because you just got a new one, didn't you, Phil?
Insta360 Go.
Yeah,
That's right. The S3. Yeah, I've got that one. Just got that one for Christmas. I got a GoPro Hero 10 Black, a GoPro Hero 7 Black, and then I use my Samsung Galaxy for slow motion shots. And then I've got another camera phone that I use for crawlers and stuff like that. If I want to capture a lot of texture and I want to capture depth and stuff, I'll use another camera phone that I have. So it's five different cameras that I use.
Ooh,
Mark?
Yeah.
No. I mainly use GoPro Hero 7. I had a GoPro Hero 5, but that's died. And I hope my 7's going to keep going a bit because they're quite expensive. But that's done me proud, to be fair. It does overheat sometimes, and then it will just shut down. But most of the time, that's okay.
But Mark, you've got a sexy camera that you use, haven't you? Like a proper camera.
My wife bought me this thing.
Look at that.
That's Sony Handycam. I can't remember SDR. Should I tell you what the number of it is? I can't remember. It's a FDR AX43, and that thing, it's got inside there, it's got a built-in gimbal. So I might be able to see if I open it up. I don't know.
You can tell when you're using it because it's so smooth.
You can see the lens there. I don't know if you can see the lens moving. Can you see it? So it like auto stabilizes. What's the word? Yeah, it's not software stabilization. It's actual
mechanically stabilized. It's not using software.
It is a beautiful 80 times optical zoom. The image quality is pretty good. It's not as good as a GoPro for sharpness, but for capturing live action, that is the thing. But
I think it's so smooth, and when you're panning with it and you're moving it around, and then when you zoom in, it's got that lovely sort of, it zooms gradually, so it zooms in, not like you zoom on a phone, it goes and it just smooth zooms in. It's just beautiful.
It is, but it's not easy to use. Alfie is brilliant on it. He's loads better than me. My son Alfie's he's the if I can get him to do one of my run videos, I'm like, yay. But
Me too.
It's a lovely camera.
Too. I love when Alfie films because he does such a beautiful job.
And he always chips in with the odd little chirpy comments as well. What a lovely.
And he's always down low. He'll bring the camera right down low too. So some of those shots, you're drifting.
Youth, man.
Picturing
it's the
a rally car. I think you drifting around some garden somewhere, and Alfie driving or Alfie filming, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's 23, so he's still flexible.
He's young. He can get all the way down there, close to the ground.
Yeah.
So I do all of my filming on this. So I've got an iPhone 17 Pro Max thing. So I've waited 4 years to get that, and that's really upped my camera work. But I use predominantly iPhone cameras, so I just keep all the old phones. I've got like 10 years worth of old iPhones, and that's what I set around the track, and they're just all old iPhones I use. And then I've got that Insta360 Go camera is awesome for capturing footage. You mount it on the cap, so like a cap mount. I stick it up there, and I can walk around with it, and it's brilliant. But that was a game changer getting that one. That really helped because it's got a magnetic back, so you can stick it up high on places and angle the camera on it and stuff. It's super cool. Really,
and it's nice and small too, which is great. Nice. So it fits in a lot of spaces no other camera will fit.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Inside lunch boxes, see behind the windshield.
Yeah, there you go.
And
what about editing software? What software do you guys use to edit? That's an interesting question.
I'm smiling because you'd laugh when you hear what I'm going to tell you. I've got like a 7 years out of date, unsupported old copy of Windows Movie Maker.
Nice. You do it all on that?
Yep.
Old school.
And I do it on that because I've got used to it. I know it I don't even have to think about it. I can do it without looking at virtually. I know where the buttons are. Click, click, click. I like the interface. I've tried Clipchamp, which is their newest thing online, and I can't stand the interface, and the quality is not much better. So I'll just stick with what I know. I can't do picture-in-picture and that, which is a bit annoying, and you can only have one piece of text on the screen at anyone, and so it is very limiting. But for what it is, it does okay.
But if you're familiar with it, it makes it a quick process to produce a video because you know where you're going, you know what you're doing. Phil, what do you use?
Click, 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 click. Yeah.
I use Wondershare Filmora is the name of the program. Yeah, and I just kind of like pay a monthly thing, and I got access to everything, all the AI stuff it comes with, all the different transitions, and You guys see my show. I like bright, flashy things. So I pay for all that so I can never have to think. I just always have access to all the funky titles and sounds and all the stuff. Yeah.
It does. It looks good though. I can see why you spend it on that. I mean, you know, you're going up there, Phil. You need the top software, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I'm proud of the product that I'm putting out. So I want to keep it that way.
Yeah. And if it works, then it works, right? You know, no point in changing. I've tried a lot of stuff. So I've tried what Phil uses, and I can't remember the other thing I tried. It's a big name one. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And then I settled on something called LumaFusion, which is an iPhone app. And I paid a one-time fee to get access to their like suite of editing tools. And I do all my videos in that because what you said, Mark, I'm used to it. I've been using it for 5 years. Yeah. I'm used to it. I'm familiar. It does picture-in-picture. It does multicam. That'll do me. I've got everything I need.
Yeah, it works. Why not? Yeah.
If I could use some of the other stuff, it would be good. But I haven't got time to retrain myself now. I've got to use what I'm used to using. So hopefully that was helpful, Pavan and Mark. Hope you enjoyed that. Now, we've got a couple of good ones that I've saved till right at the end. Okay, so we've got 3 more questions, and they're all bangers from people that we all know. So the first one is from Mads Schmidt. You guys know Mads, yeah?
Mads.
We love Mads.
He said it's not really a question, more of an observation. It's like an extra element added to an already time-consuming and can be expensive hobby. He said, discuss the rewards that come from the extra effort, which we have done. He says, making a video is a lot of work, but to me, it's all worth it once it's published and the lovely comments start to pop up. And of course, that big dream to make some pocket money from all the videos, perhaps even manage to finance the hobby with it and all that stuff. So we've answered a lot of Mad's questions as we've been going along, but I just thought it was nice to hear another YouTuber who, you know, it hits all the right notes that I think we've just said about the comments. And that, to me, I think it's a bit that keeps me going. You know, you get your video out, and some people take the time to write you just a really nice note to say, hey, that was cool, thanks for that. And it's different every time. I get different people commenting. There's the regulars, you know, the Poor Boy RCs, the Mark Bryans, the regular guys that comment on your videos, right? But there's also other people that pop up every now and then and just say something really nice about the video that you've spent ages crafting. It makes you feel good. It's a good feel. Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
And Mads is one of those that is normally there with the lovely comments, isn't he?
Yeah.
I've got to say as well, Mads, if you're listening, I hope you are, mate, but even if you're not, I'll say it anyway. You're one of the channels you'd ask about people that inspire you and the channels you like. Mads has got such an out there kind of off the wall channel. The things he comes up with, his builds and that, it's wonderful to have somebody so different. He does not do run of the mill stuff, does he, Mads? And that's one of the beauties of YouTube. That's why I love the platform. So yeah, Mads, we love your channel, mate. Nice one.
He finds really random cars to build and run as well.
Oh, yeah.
Something off
and
obscure.
his paint schemes and everything. I love it. He's just out there. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Nice one.
And I think kind of tying all that together would be like my response. And that would be like community. Like there's a really strong sense of community in the RC online world. There's always the bad apples. There's always going to be bad apples everywhere you go. So, you know, let's just ignore them. But I mean, look at the 3 of us now. I mean, you guys live in the UK. I'm in Western Canada. You know, we are really far away. We never would have met each other if it wasn't for this. Mads is in Denmark. You know what I mean? We've got people all over planet Earth that we're buddy with. You know, I've got more friends that I've met through YouTubing than I have like friends that like I can, you know, that I'm like within a reasonable distance of hanging out with. There's a really wonderful sense of community here. And I think that's important. We're living in a world where it seems like politicians want nothing more than to drive us apart. So things that bring people together, I think, are really important. And this has been one of them.
Yeah.
Well said, buddy. Well said.
Something to be cherished, I think, indeed.
So I want to finish off with 2 questions. One from Chris Graham over at Talks Tamiya in Australia. You guys know Chris? What's his channel?
Yeah.
So Chris said he would like to know some advice for smaller channels. What is it that makes it tick? How do you get the audience retention and just what can he take away from us that'll help him? And I'm going to hand this over to you guys. I don't think I've got anything to add. So Can you give him one piece of advice for a small YouTuber who's still on that journey up and seeing you guys and others and saying, I want to get there? What's your best bit of advice for him?
Well, I'll have a go, and then I'll pass it over to Phil, because Phil's already given one good piece of advice about that. I don't think he knows he's done it, but he was on about when he's doing his videos and he's like, chop, chop, chop. Those little pauses, those little breaks, those things where there's nothing really informative or entertaining going on, they need to go, because people have got such short attention span. So I think, Phil, I don't know if you even know you said that there, but that's a brilliant piece of advice. And I think, yeah, the only thing I can add to that is, if your video's not informative, teaching you something, telling you something you didn't already know, or it's not entertaining, then it's not gonna get the views. It's got to provide something for the viewer. And so that's the way I look at it. If I'm creating a video, I'm going to think, well, one, I'll do it because I'm passionate about it and I want to do it. But the other thing is, I want to teach somebody something, or tell them something they didn't know, or make them smile. That's and I think if you can focus on that, I think it'll help. What do you think, guys?
Absolutely.
That's how I do it. That's what I do anyway. That's what I do.
Phil, anything to add?
Yeah, Mark kind of nailed it there. I think the bread and butter of it is that people don't, there's 1,000,001 YouTube channels, and people don't often give you a second chance. So if they turn you on and you don't captivate them in that first 7 seconds, they're out, dude.
Yeah.
Well, in business, that's what they taught us in business, right? You had 7 seconds to make a first impression. Or people will have their impression of you within 7 seconds. So I've got 7 seconds to grab your attention. That's how I look at it. If I have 7 seconds where you might be thinking, I wonder if the A team's on, I lost you. That's it. You're done. You know what I mean? So I need to make sure that I do not waste 1 second of your time, which means as an editor, my job is now 20 times harder. Because like I said, if I've got a 3-second gap where there's just dead air, I will literally be in there cutting out 3-second gaps to make sure it's just content. So you need really dense content. I think to be really, really successful on this platform, you need a lot of content packed into as short a period of time as possible. And then the other element on top of that would be, I think, is to be as yourself as you possibly can, which we discussed can be hard on camera. But we've all got wacky personalities. We're all adults, hanging out, talking about Tamiyas and Kyosho's and radio control cars. A lot of people would think this is a kid's hobby. It's really not. This is really more of an adult hobby.
It is not, no.
Precisely. And so we've got
demographics,
we've all got different personalities. Look at the three of us, like 3 very different cuts of cloth. And you need, you don't want to be the same as the last guy. You need your personality to shine. It's not going to speak to everyone. Not everyone likes me. I get people like, you wear a flat brim hat and you're almost 50. What a loser. Like, and my hat angers them. So they give me a thumbs down and tell me to F off. But that's the risk. Not a risk. That's part of the game.
It's part and parcel.
Some people aren't going to like you, but you need to be your authentic self as much as possible. Yeah. Because people will be attracted to that. They're attracted to the person as well.
Mm.
That is a great piece of advice.
Chris, it is. If I know Chris as well, he certainly is himself, isn't he? I think.
Oh yeah.
And Zach, obviously, they are. You could tell they're genuine. So he's got that part right, hasn't he?
Absolutely,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good bit of advice, guys. Phil. Well done, Chris. I hope that helps you in your journey, buddy. And good luck. Right. The last question is from the other Andy Hall. You know that guy? The other Andy.
TOAH.
So Toa. Yeah.
Toa.
So Andy's starting
miles per hour in a hot shot with a 380 motor.
He holds you, Phil, personally responsible for all of his RC journey to date on YouTube, because I think it was the Speedrun Challenge that gave him this platform, and now all of a sudden the guy's going, and it's great to see. It's great to see these new channels popping up with people that have been around the community for a while and going, hey, I'm going to give it a go because I've got something to add to this. And I think Andy's great. He's awesome. He wants to know, and I think we're going to finish on a positive. So he asked about both good and bad for this. But he was like, tell me about the most elaborate videos you made and whether they were worth it. I don't mean regarding financial loss or gain, but the effort and what you personally got out of it. And I've interpreted that, because we're coming to the end of this now, I want it to be our favorite, the one that made you go, oh, I just loved that video. And I'll tell you mine first to give you time to think. I did a video very early on where I took the MO5 rally out on the Orchard Raceway. Like, it was dusty and I had one little tiny jump made out of mud on it. And the sun was sort of over the back of the car. And I hit this jump in this MO5, which is not supposed to be out in the dirt. And the thing jumped in the air and I had it in slow-mo. And it just looked awesome. And I used to have it on the intro to my channel. It was in the channel intro. Yes. This car was just jumping towards the camera.
Is that the
and that moment?
NSU? Yeah.
Yeah, NSU. That moment, I was hooked. And I was like, I have to recreate that moment. Never hit anything like it. Never had a moment where I've gone, that was the perfect shot ever again. But I chase that perfect shot. Whenever I do a running video, whenever I'm really sat trying to get I'm chasing that one shot that I've never recreated. No one watched that video. But I loved it. And I edited that video twice. So I was so happy with that jump. I had to cut it in different ways. And that was the one. And that was like first 6 months in. I did this awesome video. And I've been chasing that video ever since. And that's mine.
Awesome. Can't be bad. I don't mind. Do you want to go, Phil?
Yeah, sure. What the heck? I think I already answered that question. I'll bring it back up. So that Relarlo Ken Block homage video.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was
gotta be.
Yeah, I want to say 3 days of filming. Yeah, 180 something gigs of data, and that's multiple cameras, drone footage, like filming on we filmed at the skate park, we filmed an underground parking garage, we filmed in a grocery store parking lot, we filmed on the beach, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 different destinations that we filmed at. And that's like getting together, meeting at 7 o'clock at Starbucks, having a coffee, talking about what we're going to do. Like, it was like making a movie. It actually had like a trailer at the end, like credits at the end. And that was by far the most work. And again, taking all the sounds from Gymkhana 7 and syncing those up so that an exhaust pop, pop, pop just lines up perfect. It was just the most work I've ever put into a video. I'm so proud of it. To this day, I still watch it and I love it. And there's rest in peace, Ken Block at the end. I always kind of tear up there. I love watching his stuff. And I got crapped on for that video a lot. A lot. I've probably got more dislikes, more thumbs down on that running video than I do on any other running video that I've ever made. So it was a really weird thing where I thought people are going to flip their lid when they see this. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're an idiot. That sucked. And they give me a thumbs down. There's and again, a shocking amount and something I really didn't see coming. And the people that know are like, dude, how did you do that? There's some pretty positive comments in there that, kept me from, throwing the GoPro up in the air and hanging up poor boys. But yeah, that's an example of one for you there, Andy, where you think you nailed it and you spend all this time and money and effort and then it doesn't do well at all. Those happen.
I get it.
Mark.
But anyway, I think most, like, we've gone over this. It's hard to think of a video that put more effort in than others because they all take a lot of effort. But I think one that sticks out for me is probably doing stuff with Rob, where we're both in front of the camera. Oh my God, us two old idiots could not remember a line to save our lives. So I think probably the one that took the most effort was one of the Christmas giveaways we did, the RCL Christmas giveaways.
Oh yeah,
and we sat there, and actually I got that box of a Blackfoot, but we were giving away a Blackfoot, but we hadn't got it, so I drew the box, and it took me half a day to draw the bleeding thing, and so and then I'm sat there, and Rob's going, "That's bleeding useless," and like we tried to come up with this kind of comedy show thing, and he pretended he won because he cheated on the thing. And the amount of effort it took, I wrote the script. I did write a script for that, and that took us probably 3 days to film it. And you know what? It probably got 500 views, that thing. And it took but it was so funny. And there was that many outtakes that I did a separate outtake video of it, which I thought was even funnier because we were actually swearing on it. So there you go. Be careful about this, censored Mark Bryan video. And that got even less views than the original. So that's probably my most effort for least reward, I think. But
the thing is, Andy,
we had
you've just got to
so much fun doing it, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't care.
Andy, you just got to keep plugging away, bud, and just keep going. And don't worry about it. We all have good ones. We all have bad ones. And ultimately, just keep going. Don't stop. Don't give it up.
Just enjoy it, mate. Just enjoy it. Yeah.
That's the best advice.
That brings us...
Just enjoy it. Have fun with it. Yeah. That is the best advice. And whenever I get wound up, if I'm like overthinking something, I'm talking about it, and I realize I sound like a freaking robot, and I watch a scene back, I'm like, oh my God, like... Have fun with it, man. We're talking about RC cars, not like surgical equipment. Have fun with your damn job. This is a great job to have.
And that's what ultimately this is all about, isn't it? That's why we do it. We're playing with RC cars. You know, we're having fun. And if it's not fun, then it's probably don't do it. You know, do something else. If you're not having fun with it, do something else. So look, we've spent an hour and a half talking about being an RC YouTuber. I hope everybody has found that really useful. I don't know about these guys, but we're getting old, so I definitely need the restroom at this point. So we're going to call it a day before there's any accidents. Thank you so much for listening to us, Whitlam, on another Talks Tamiya. We'll be back early part of February with another one because Nuremberg's coming, and we have got to talk about that. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me, as always. And we'll see you all soon on Talks Tamiya. Thanks very much for having us.
Pleasure,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop.